Hi guys, welcome to our channel Swipe Children. Today in this video we'll be seeing about file handling, how to create a file, how to open a file, read, write operations, several operations that we perform on files. So let's dive into this Swipe to Learn Python series. If you find the series helpful, please do like, share, and subscribe and share it to your friends so that they can also learn Python. So, if you see with the file generally consists of data. It may be of any type, that is text or a binary data, that is of zeros and ones, right? So the general syntax of using any function is open. With open, you can just create or name the file. The syntax is file name was and comma mode. Okay. So so I'm opening a new file. F equals to open file name dot txt file. Then comma its mode. So if you just give open, if the file name .txt is already available, it just opens it. If it is not available, it creates an open. Whereas the mode specifies on which mode you are opening it. Like it may be in the read mode or it may be the write mode. If you open a file in read mode, you cannot write. I mean, it's not editable. It's only read only. If you open and write, you can read and you can write. Got the point? So if the mode is R, it's the default value and it's open for a reading. So if you just write with open file comma R, if the file is not there, then it gives an error. A is for the append, like already the F file consists of some text, and when we use the append, it adds the appended text with the from the fourth line. Like you already have three lines in your file and it adds from the fourth line. If you go with the write, it's for writing and creates the file if it does not exist. Say if you write f equals to open of f.txt comma write. See, this f file is unavailable. It creates a new file f. From this you can write anything freshly. So you can also create X. It just creates the specified file. So if you specify X here, it just creates the file. So you can also specify its default value. That means it is a text mode or a binary, that is images or a binary coded. So you can just write RT. It denotes reading a text file. If it is RB, it denotes an image file. Among these all, you can also have RW plus W plus AW plus. RW plus means you can read it and write it. W plus, you can also read it and write it. So you can use any of this function RW, R plus or W plus, then you can both read and write the file. A plus. From this you can read and append by using this mode. So these are all the modes which you can use in the open function parameters while using the file. Let's move on to next. So you can also have with open. So with open file.txt as R plus, you can also use. So I will write, suppose you can also create f equals to, like new file is equals to open of file dot I'm using for R plus, like I can both read and write. You can also ask with open file dot text in W plus mode as F as NF. So this the same line. Both are of same line. Got it. So if it is like with open file dot txt, if you, after colon write it as NF, then you can have this NF file. Same as NF equals to open of file dot txt comma r plus mode. These both are same. You can access NF from any of the syntax from the both. Okay. Now, after once the file is created or opened, it will be in the scope. Once after using the file, like it takes in the RAM, the file is loaded and its content, everything is loaded in the RAM. And among this, until the scope, this file is accessible, right? So when the file is accessible, you can just write it over here, and after the uses you have to free the space, right? So to free the space you have to close the file, whatever the file name. Suppose here our file is nf dot close off. It just closes the files and it frees the RAM from the memory. This memory will be freed. So this is how open and close works. Now let's see read file. So I'm just opening f equals to, so I haven't specified here mode. So the mode would be, what the mode would be? It would be default R. And whenever you create f dot read, you can read the whole text. It gives whatever the content. Say my file content is hello, I am your file, I am file. See, if you go on with this and if you write f dot read off, it prints the output as hello, my name. Sorry, I am your file. You can also open directly from your drives and the folders too. So there is another default parameter for the read. Read followed by in the parentheses. If you specify the number of characters, it gives 5 characters. Suppose 5 characters. Suppose if here it is 4, it prints HELL, only 4 characters. Like this we can also use. And f dot read line. This read line method gives line by line context. Right? Line by line context of the file is given in this read function. Yes, let's see with the write function. It is of the same. If you follow my file, I mean the new file dot write of content, you can just specify the content whatever here it is, and if you dot write of something content, it will write into the file. It is a simple. If you want to write the content in the form of from the list or a tuple, like we use multiple lines or multiple items from the list or a tuple, we use the function write lines of. These are all the built-in functions which are available from the files we can just use. So from this open, it's used for open the file or create the file, read to read the contents, write to write the contents. Okay, like this how you write with the files. Now, the most important and not yet discussed part of these files are tell and seek. So once you open a file, the cursor starts keeps on moving. So when you are reading, so suppose say this is the file context. Whenever I am reading this f.read line, this line is readed. So my cursor is here, right? After if I use the function f.read of 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, it goes and my cursor is here, some, right? Like this, it will be going on going. So whenever there is a seek function, so I want to start I want to go back to the start of my pointer, or I want to go to the end of the file. This is the beginning, is the end of the file, right? So whatever the context it may be, I want to move my pointer. So then we use the seek. So my file.seek offset comma start from. Offset decides like how many bytes you want to skip. We go with the slicing operator of skipping, right? In the same way. So and the start from. So the possible values would be 0 will goes to the beginning of the file, 1 will be the current position, and 2 will be the end of file. Now what my file.tell function returns? It returns the bytes pointer that is from the beginning. I mean, where the pointer is. Suppose here my pointer is here. So it counts and it returns at what position my pointer is. This is how the myfile.tell works. Let's move on. The copy. So these are not any predefined function exists for the file copy. So what I am saying is I have two files, original and duplicate. I have the content here and I have nothing in the duplicate. So I want to copy this original file contents to this my new file duplicate. So what I am doing is I am opening both these files, original and duplicate. I am opening this original file in the read mode, and whereas I am opening this file too in the write mode, because I am writing in this duplicate. This is an empty file, right? So whatever file I have, I am just reading the read line method, and I'm reading each and every line, and I'm writing it here, reading a line and writing in the sec until the file one dot read line exists. Until the last line I am reading the file and I am writing it. Okay, if you want to add the content, suppose it already have duplicate have some content and I want to add it, so like you want to append the content, then you use here same append. After completion of this file, I have copied all the original context into duplicate. Now I am going to close the files. The closing the file is very important and crucial. Whenever you use with the files, you have to close the file so that it frees from the space, and it stops using the memory, and it also helps to not perform any operations again with the files. So this is how the copy of the file. I am opening the two files, taking the content, reading the content from each of the file and writing it in the same content in the next file and closing the files. So in this way, you will be copying the two files, right? So how to delete a file? There is no any built-in function to delete a file. You must import the OS module and then import the OS module, and you have to use os.remove. This removes the file whatever present here. So I'll write os.remove. What's our file name here? nf.txt. Follow. So this will remove the delete the file. Okay. Congratulations on mastering files and its methods. Keep practicing so that your code will be well structured.